Dr. Gelman, I presume. On your 3 o'clock. So, should I lie down? Sit down? Stand down? Oh, sorry. You'll have to forgive me. Well, this is my first visit to a therapist. This week, nothing? Okay, so my name is Gerald. My friends call me Jerry. I am a male homosexual of a particular age. Depressing as it seems, I am older than I look. Now, let me see if I can say this without offending. I am a cis male, and my preferred pronouns are girl, honey, and oh, Mary, you didn't. Yes. Listen, why don't we start over? From the beginning? The beginning. Okay, well, I was born and raised in a small town on the East Coast by the name of Saratoga Springs. I come from a large Catholic family, requisite mother and father, 6 siblings, 4 brothers, 2 sisters. My mother died giving birth to me, which caused an enormous amount of resentment on the part of my father, which was less than ideal. I mean, it's one thing to be born homosexual, but to also be the cause of your mother's death, well, how does one recover from that? Gerald, my father used to say to me whenever I did something to disappoint him, like breathing or having a heartbeat, Gerald, it's a shame your mother didn't live long enough to raise you, but she died giving birth to you, so I guess that is the price we all have to pay for our sins. Jesus Christ, I was just born, for God's sake. What possible sin could I have committed? But the message was clear. Even from the young age of 5, I understood that the sin I had committed was being born. Well, now, there are those who have argued that I was not the cause of my mother's death, that maybe, just maybe, it had something to do with him insisting that she churn out child after child like some human Pez dispenser, and so she just finally dropped dead from exhaustion. Quite irreverent of me, I know, but of course I never even knew her, and I can't say I was always appreciative of the fact that she brought me into this world. As for my father's resentment, I never understood why. I mean, from my perspective, he was incapable of romantic love, so it couldn't have been from a broken heart. Well, he eventually remarried, settling for a woman of decidedly lesser quality than my mother. Oh, listen now. My mother was a real looker, and from the stories I've heard, she had a great personality, a great sense of humor. This woman he married, well, she was older than my father, had a perpetual sour look on her face, and was conspicuously lacking in any emotion outside of "leave me the fuck alone." Oh, she was good Catholic stuff. This is probably why my father married her. Probably also selected her to raise the children, knowing that at her age it was doubtful she'd want any of her own. I don't think she really wanted any of us. And he was certainly a good catch for her. He's handsome, he owned his own business and a large, beautiful home. I nicknamed my new stepmother Margaret Hamilton. And that name stuck. This is a reference of which you are not familiar? Really? I'm mounting. Really? Well, Margaret Hamilton is known for her iconic portrayal of the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz. Sure, I could have just called her Wicked Witch of the West, but where's the finesse in that? A bit droll for a child my age, but did I mention I was born gay? So look, I don't know how it works these days, but back then in my particular situation, I spent all of my ostracized free time concentrating on my studies, which carried me through my university years and my eventual doctorate in English Lit, with a minor in theater and film. You see, it's books and movies and my own imagination were my only solace as a child. That and perfecting my best Rhoda Penmark impression. Oh no. Rhoda Penmark? Rhoda Penmark from The Bad Seed? That mean little girl with the pigtails? Oh God, there goes another great reference down the toilet. Okay, let's just say, taffeta. Let's just say I was perfecting my best Betty Davis impression. Leave it at that. What a dump. Oh, forget it. It's almost too cliche to bear. Oh, God. So where was I? Who? Oh, stepmother. Let's just say I was not my stepmother's favorite stepchild. I do feel compelled at this point to justify my role as victim by recounting some of the myriad ways of just how she tormented me as a child. The time she threw away all the potted flowers in my bedroom because boys aren't supposed to like flowers. Or, that woman discarded my entire collection of Silver Screen magazine, all featuring Guy Madison on the cover. Because what was I anyway? Queer or something? Hello? These pronouncements were always made in the presence of my father, who, surprisingly enough, had no opinion on the matter. Just guess I wasn't important enough to sustain any lasting interest. His lack of attention always irritated our dear Margaret, and well, I can't say it made me feel very good either. That perpetual sour look on her face probably had something to do with the fact that shortly after marrying my father, he started drinking to excess. He lost the business, lost our house, and eventually she would lose him. No, it's not that he died or anything. For all I know, it's just that one day he walked out that front door and that bastard never came back. Here's not looking at you, kid. Years later, as an adult, I actually came to pity her in this respect. I mean, here she was, a woman later in life who had the good fortune to marry a handsome man of some wealth, only to have it all fall apart. Left her salad raising 7 ungrateful children. Seven ungrateful children? Oh, I should have nicknamed her the Baroness from the fucking Sound of Music. Oh, you've seen that one, right? Oh, I would have looked so cute in lederhosen, too. Oh. Well, anyway, tomorrow's another day. Scarlett O'Hara. Gone with the wind. Well, about a year and a half before she died, I took my then boyfriend, Miguel, with me to visit her. I have since moved to Los Angeles, so my trips back home are much less frequent. And you know, I didn't really go to visit her anyway. I had friends in New York City I would visit, but something about my hometown always seemed to pull me back, and I would find myself in Saratoga Springs. My boyfriend was Hispanic, so I knew the visit was going to be a little tense. Not that I knew she was racist or anything. I just knew that she had never lived in a diverse community, so the experience was going to be a new one for her and potentially unsettling. As we pulled up in front of the house, I casually said to my boyfriend, you better be prepared. She might ask you about your ethnic background when you meet her. Oh, that's okay, he said. I get that all the time. I have a certain ethnic androgyny that makes it difficult for people to pinpoint my origin. They think I'm a Korean, Filipino, Hawaiian, Puerto Rican, Guamanian, Eskimo, but for some reason, they never think I'm Mexican. Yes, well, I said to him, I'm pretty sure my stepmother has no preconceived ideas about ethnic androgyny. She will just know you are something other than Caucasian and bring it up. Oh, if she asks about your little dog, Toto, just humor her and say he's fine. Oh, Jerry, he said, you are so funny. Does she know you're gay? Well, we never talked about it, I told her. She used to call me Sissy when I was growing up. She used to say only sissies were as preoccupied with their hair and clothing as I was. She wasn't wrong, he said. So the visit went as predicted. Cordial greetings, but for the most part, all conversation was directed at me. I tried numerous times to include my boyfriend. Oh, Miguel here used to be a hairdresser. Isn't that right, Miguel? Yes, he said. He was having none of it. He always hated it when I used to try to pull him into a conversation that wasn't fully organic, so his responses were monosyllabic at best. Plus, it wasn't true about him being a hairdresser. I just like to throw that shit in to stir up the conversation. And it irritated the hell out of Miguel. But like I said, he was having none of it. Well, conversation was winding down, and it became apparent we should be leaving. I was disappointed, actually, that my stepmother had not lived up to my predictions. And then, at the final moment, she pulled through. We were talking about our schedules in the airport we were flying out of. Suddenly, she turns to Miguel and says, "And where are you from, my pretty?" Oh my God, you don't need to speak to him like that. He's not deaf, you know. Well, he hasn't said much since he got here. So I figured the little scarecrow didn't speak English. Okay, maybe she didn't say scarecrow, but I'm pretty sure it was implied. So I told her, look, he was born and raised in Los Angeles, graduated from Stanford University with a degree in biomedical engineering, which was also bullshit, but like I said, I stirred it up. I thought you said he was a hairdresser. Well, before I could respond, Miguel jumps in. Oh, it's okay, Gerald's mother. I tell Geraldo all the time not to be so mean. Some people, they make the mistake often, but it's okay. No, the feeling's hard. Oh my God. Miguel could be such a bitch sometimes. But at least he was back in the game. Well, there was a long moment of deathly silence as we braced ourselves for my stepmother's response. And then, the most amazing thing happened. She burst out laughing. In all the years I had known her, I never knew that woman to even crack a smile, let alone this full-on cackle that was emanating from her. And then Miguel, relieved that she'd gotten his little joke, he starts laughing. And then I couldn't help myself. I started laughing. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. Well, she and Miguel hit it off from that moment on. They started talking and laughing and sharing stories about me and just talking about things in general. Miguel had that power over people. They just naturally fell in love with him. Well, that was the last time I ever saw her. Alive, anyway. She and Miguel would talk regularly on the phone when we got back to Los Angeles. So sometimes he'd hand the phone to me to say hello, but usually he would just say, your mother sends her love. I didn't really believe it, but it was a nice story to tell. And I would hear him say to her, you take care now. Gerald sends his love. He started telling me stories about her. Did you know your mother used to dance with sailors for money just so she could afford to eat and pay the rent? I would tell him every time, she's not my mother, and please, Miguel, stop telling me those goddamn stories or I'm going to shut your mouth for you. He couldn't help it. He just wanted us to all love each other, or at least be friends. He finally promised to stop sharing those stories if I would promise to stop calling her Margaret Hammond. It's a mean nickname, he would say, and Miguel didn't want me to be mean. So I started calling her Maggie instead. Maggie. What's it? When she died, I know Miguel cried a whole lot more than I did because I didn't cry at all. I will tell you, I was shocked by the turnout her funeral had. There was a great deal of wailing and gnashing of teeth. I couldn't reconcile all this emotion with the woman I held in my memory. I'm telling you right now, I did not imagine all those years of misery and torment that was my childhood, being teased and humiliated, being called sissy and who knows what else. I did not make that shit up. That was not just in my imagination. Memory is a funny thing. After the funeral reception, on our way back to the airport, I directed the taxi driver to stop at my stepmother's house. Miguel waited in the car. I dashed inside, made my way to her bedroom, rifled through her belongings till I found just what I had come for. I threw it in a bag, went back to the car. "What's that?" Miguel asked me. "Souvenir," I told him. "Souvenir." Oh, it's a pair of ruby slippers, my pretty. It's a pair of ruby slippers. Well, Dr. Gelman, I think now I'm ready to begin.